Something is happening in Philadelphia right now, and you can feel it in the air. For years, we've watched this defense dominate the trenches, but there was always that nagging feeling of a missing link on the edge. Howie Roseman just made a move that signals we are not just playing for the playoffs, we are playing for a ring. If you are a real Eagles fan, a member of the faithful who lives for the midnight green, you need to hear this. Like and subscribe right now because this season is about to change everything for our beloved defense. It finally happened. Howie Roseman went into the lab and pulled off a move that has the entire league talking. The Philadelphia Eagles have officially acquired Jonathan Greenard in a massive trade with the Minnesota Vikings. We didn't just get a body, we got a certified game changer. Howie sent over a package involving third-round picks, including Jacoby Thomas, to bring in a man who has put up double-digit sacks in back-to-back seasons before a minor injury bug hit. But look at the commitment. A 4-year, $100 million extension with $50 million fully guaranteed. That is not a wait-and-see contract. That is a you are the cornerstone contract. When you hear the Vikings interim GM Rob Brzezinski talk about how difficult it was to lose a captain like Greenard, you realize the magnitude of what just landed in our laps. This isn't just about depth. This is about an identity shift. We've seen this defense evolve under Vic Fangio. We have the interior monsters. Jalen Carter is a force of nature. Jordan Davis is a mountain that nobody can move. Moro Ojomo is emerging as a legitimate problem for offensive coordinators. But every elite defense needs that one guy on the outside who makes the quarterback feel like the walls are closing in. Greenard brings that. He brings a resume of 24.5 sacks over 2 seasons. Think about that. Even in a shortened year where he dealt with a shoulder issue, his win rate remained at the top of the league. He doesn't just chase stats, he wins his matchups. He plays the game with a violence that fits exactly what Philadelphia represents. But here is the thing. Bringing in a veteran like this changes the room. It puts pressure on everyone. It tells Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt that the standard just went through the roof. Now this is where it gets interesting, because we aren't just talking about a pass rusher. We are talking about a guy who sets the edge and plays the run with a chip on his shoulder. It feels like the final piece of a puzzle we've been trying to solve since the Super Bowl run. The tension is building because the expectations are now undeniable. Something big is happening here. This move signals that Philadelphia is ready to reclaim its throne. When you dive deeper into what Jonathan Greenard brings to this locker room, you start to see the ripple effects across the entire roster. Vic Fangio's system is legendary for its complexity and its demand for discipline. You cannot have guys out there just freelancing and chasing sacks while leaving lanes open. That's why this move is so calculated. Greenard is known for his technical soundness. He understands the dirty work, as he called it in his introductory press conference. But there is a layer of risk here that we have to acknowledge as fans. Last season was cut short by a shoulder surgery. He only played 12 games. Whenever you see a $100 million price tag attached to a player coming off an injury, there is that natural moment of hesitation. Is he the same guy who dominated in Houston and Minnesota? The Eagles are betting $50 million in guarantees that he is. If he's healthy, he is an absolute nightmare. If he's not, it creates a massive void in our cap and our strategy. But honestly, the upside is too high to ignore. Imagine the stress on an offensive line when they have to double-team Jalen Carter inside, only to realize they have Greenard flying off the edge. You can't double everyone. This creates a domino effect for our young rushers like Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt. They no longer have to carry the burden of being the primary source of pressure. They can learn, rotate, and stay fresh. The linebacking core, led by All-Pro Zach Bond and Jihad Campbell, suddenly has a lot more breathing room because the front line is so suffocating. Our secondary with Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean becomes even more dangerous because the ball has to come out faster. It's an interconnected web of defensive dominance. But the pressure is real. We are in a window where good isn't enough. We need elite. We need a defense that makes teams fear coming to Philly. Some are saying this is the most complete front seven we've had in years. The uncertainty lies in how quickly Greenard integrates into the culture. Can he be that veteran leader we need? The reports suggest he's already embracing the role, but the real test starts when the pads go on this summer. But this is where things change for the Philadelphia Eagles. This isn't just a personnel upgrade. It's a statement of intent to the rest of the NFC. By locking Greenard down for 4 years, Howie Roseman is saying the window is wide open right now. And that's the biggest question facing this team. Can we handle the weight of these expectations? When you spend this kind of money in trade-away draft capital, you are effectively ending the rebuilding or retooling phase. Every move from here on out is about February. Because this could become something much bigger than just a defensive signing. This could be the move that defines the Nick Sirianni era. We've seen what happens when this team has a dominant pass rush. It changes the geometry of the field. Greenard's versatility is the secret sauce here. He can drop into coverage, he can play the overhang, and he can punish running backs in the flat. In Fangio's world, that's gold. But consider the emotional stakes. The fans in this city have seen greatness and we've seen heartbreak. We know that games aren't won on paper. We saw a defense that struggled with consistency at times last year, and this feels like the direct response to those failures. It's about building a unit that doesn't break under pressure. The concern remains about the injury history, but the potential of having a top-5 defensive unit is staring us in the face. If Greenard returns to his 12-sack form, the Eagles' defense becomes an unsolvable equation. How do you plan for a front that has no weak links? How do you protect a quarterback when pressure is coming from every single angle? This move forces our rivals in the division to rethink their entire offensive strategies. It's a chess move in a game played with hammers. The emotional looping here is constant, because every time we talk about the defense, we come back to that one missing edge presence. Now that he's here, there are no more excuses. The future tension is palpable. Every snap Greenard takes will be scrutinized. Every tackle for loss will be celebrated as proof that Howie did it again. But the risk of failure is just as high as the reward. That is the true reality of being a contender in Philadelphia right now. I'm going to be honest with you all. This move actually makes me feel a level of excitement I haven't felt since the draft. I really like this move because it shows a level of aggression that is necessary in today's NFL. You can't just hope your young players develop into stars. You have to go out and secure proven talent when the opportunity arises. I think fans should pay attention to how Greenard talks about the dirty work. That's Philadelphia. That's our DNA. We don't want a guy who just wants the highlight reel. We want a guy who is going to grind in the trenches and set the tone for the entire team. This could be incredible if he stays healthy. He provides the veteran leadership that left a void when some of our older legends moved on. However, this actually worries me a little bit when I think about the long-term cap implications. $100 million is a lot of money to tie up in one player when we have so many young stars needing extensions soon. But you have to live in the now. The Super Bowl window isn't open forever. We have Jalen Hurts in his prime. We have an elite offensive line. We have the best cornerback duo in the league. If we don't go all in now, then when? I really believe this move was the final stamp on a defense that can carry us through the postseason. I've watched Greenard's tape and his first step is explosive. He plays with a motor that doesn't stop until the whistle blows. That kind of energy is infectious. It's going to push Jalen Carter to be even better. It's going to give the secondary more chances for interceptions. It's a move that feels right, even if it feels expensive. I think we need to be cautiously optimistic. We shouldn't crown ourselves just yet, but we should definitely feel like we are the team to beat in the NFC East. There is a sense of pride coming back to this defense. It feels like the gangrene identity is being restored piece by piece. We are seeing a front seven that looks like a brick wall. And honestly, seeing how much it hurt the Vikings to lose him tells you everything you need to know about the caliber of player we just got for our team. The story of the 2026 Philadelphia Eagles is still being written. But the addition of Jonathan Greenard might just be the most important chapter. We are standing on the edge of something potentially legendary. The pieces are all on the board. The investment has been made. Now it all comes down to execution on the grass. Will this be the move that delivers another trophy to Broad Street? Or will the weight of these expectations and the lingering questions about health create a different narrative? The future is uncertain, and that's what makes this so nerve-wracking and exciting at the same time. We've seen Howie Roseman work his magic before, but this feels like a definitive gamble on the defensive identity of this franchise. There is a lot of work to be done, and the training camp battles are going to be more intense than ever. I want to hear from you. Do you think Jonathan Greenard is truly the final piece of the puzzle for this defense? Are you worried about the injury history? Or do you think the $100 million extension is worth every penny to secure our future? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it, because this is huge for us. If you're riding with the Birds this season, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to stay locked into every single update. The journey is just beginning, and you don't want to miss a second of it. Fly, Eagles, fly.